Hello again everybody, and welcome back to another video here on Tim's Tech Corner. Today we're going to go through my third and final app on some sound and binaural isochronic related software. If you've been keeping up on my channel, you'll see that I've done two videos separately that dealt with several pieces of software. And in those videos I've gone ahead and mentioned a line of software called AmbiSci. These are apps produced by Tesla Software, and you'll see a link to their website in the video description. So today we're finally going to get around to taking a look at some of the AmbiSci related apps. Now these are available on both Android and iOS. However, the two actually have different offerings. Some of what you see on the iOS is not available on the Android operating system, and vice versa. It just so happens it seems like they kind of favor the iOS devices. The offerings are a little bit more robust. There's quite a few that are available for iOS that just don't make it to Android, and there's maybe one or two on Android that I haven't seen on iOS. Currently, if you do have a iOS product, you'll find that they have one of their bigger packs, a 300 sound pack, is available from the Apple Store, and it's for free. Now, most of the AmbiSci apps are paid, but there are some free versions, and they've finally gone ahead and made a tester app. Now, what the tester app does is if you have a quad-core or dual-core device, especially ICS or Jelly Bean, you will want to get the free tester app and listen to the sounds and see if you hear the hitching. There seems to be an item involved in dual and quad-core Android devices called stage fright that causes steady streams to have a little bit of a hitch when the loop is done. So if you're listening to a tone, and you'll hear it over here on this video, which is running BlueStacks, you'll hear that the tones run smooth. If you put a lot of these apps on some of the more higher powered devices, they have a little bug that gets introduced. So instead of a steady stream, you'll hear something like eek, eek, eek. You'll hear like a little tiny hiccup. That could be distracting. It's not so much in the background noise or the music as it's actually in the tones itself. The music and the sounds tend to run longer and you don't really hear the skip, but the actual tones will do it. Now, the first one I'll pull up here is the first one I had come into contact with, the AmbiSci 40. Several years ago I had been visiting my parents during the summer. It was a nice day. A little bit of wind was kicking up some wind chimes on their porch and screened-in porch. And I said, you know, I wonder if there are any apps that do chime sounds. They're kind of relaxing. And that's what started the whole trend. The first thing that I came across was a iOS app that basically was the equivalent of Asian jingle bells, just on a flat surface, and if you shook your iPhone or your iPod Touch or your iPad, the bells jingled, and it was kind of like sleigh bells almost. I said, wow, this is kind of cheesy. It's not what I was looking for. But AmbiSci came up in the search, and that was the first app that I tried out in this category, and it led to a minor obsession in some of the more higher quality sound apps. But we'll go ahead and look at AmbiSci 40 over here. Now when you first come into these apps, you can just simply pick a track. For example, hide and seek, and just pick it and hit play. As you can see here, it's just a nice tone. It's repetitive, but it's got enough time in it before it repeats, so it's not too bad. And if you were to hit the entrainment clicker, you can select from several different tones. We're going to go into what I consider the crux of these, is go over here to presets, because this To quote MTV Cribs, anytime somebody shows off a bedroom, this is where the magic happens. As you can see here, the offerings are extremely robust. You'll be able to set the sound of the music, the tone, and the 2 background sounds that you pick. So first thing that you want to do is skip over track and go to effect. Here in the 41, which is a generic or general collection of sounds, you can go anywhere from anger management and bladder infections to chronic fatigue, pain, concentration, ringing in the ears, energize, fear reduction, healing, genitals. I'm not too sure what they're going for, genitals. Headache relief, heart. Now, I have found 2 things with these apps that I feel I should mention. The very first night I used this one, the 40, and did a sleep-related one, I really had a very, very good night's sleep. Could be placebo effect, maybe I was just tired and due for one, but I did have a really good night's sleep. The headache relief has helped me out tremendously when I get these things called cluster headaches, also known as suicide headaches. They'll hit me usually about once a year. They'll usually last me for about a month, and 25 out of 30 days in a month, I'll wake up about 3 to 4 hours into sleeping with a massive headache sitting above my left eye. The only thing that relieves it is meds don't do anything, pre-taking meds don't do anything. The only thing that relieves it is to get out of bed, get out of a prone position, and I found the headache relief track here really has helped. It really, really has sped up the recovery of these suicide headaches better. So, you pick an effect and then you pick a track. These are all of the songs that are available in the 40 version. And of course, some are just brown noise, just the rain, just the waves, and then skips back to some more sounds. You want to find one that complements the mood you're going for. Pick something soft and low if you're trying to do a sleep or relaxation one. Pick one with more of a beat and a higher BPM if you're going for, say, energize or like you're working out. Once you select the effect and the music, then you can select some background sounds. I like the rain and waves for sleeping and calming, and birds, chimes, waterfall more for day one. So we'll go ahead and pick some complementary ones here. We'll pick wind, and we will go ahead and pick thunder. And then we'll hit play. Now, if you're listening closely, you can really hear the wind. The effect or the tone is slightly in the background, a little low. It's harder to hear, and I'm not really hearing much of the wind. A little bit of the thunder. So I'm going to up the wind sound a bit, and we're going to up the sound of the tone. And there's a deep throbbing tone that's going on. The best way to use these apps, it's designed to be used with headphones. That's what binaurals are best at, doing a tone and a complementary tone in your left and right ears. Now when you're selecting the effects, all the ones that say HP are really designed to go through headphones. You'll see some that will say SPK. Now you can still get a rather solid effect if you're using speakers and you're really centralized in between your left and right speakers. You'll still get a little bit of an effect, but it's not quite as good. Here's a sleep one, and you'll see that this one says SPK. That means it can be done through the speakers. So we're going to change this up a little bit, and we'll do some different tracks. We'll do night. And there you go. Here's the sleep-related one. You're hearing a little bit of the crack, but it's not too bad. It's a little high-pitched, kind of sharp, but it seems to be settling in. Some quad-core, dual-core devices, it'll be more frequent. So now that is pretty much what you do with any of the AmbiScience ones. And I'll go ahead and show you some of the others. 40 deals with all of them. Android Odyssey has a theme to it. Android Odyssey is they basically built the music tracks as a kind of homage to the second Tron movie. They're basically all very kind of electronical, and they have some effects over here. It's a little bit like the 41 in the fact that this doesn't have a specific set of tones that they're aiming for. It's just that the theme of the tracks is really based off of the second Tron movie. So let's do Waves and Birds. And we can hear this one. The tone's pretty strong on this one, so we'll drop the tone a bit. We'll up the music. Now, any volume controls that you play around with will occur in real time, but item changes will not. You'll have to hit stop and then play. And you can really hear in this track how it's very electronical. You know, it's very kind of spacey, kind of mechanical to a certain degree. So there's Android Odyssey. And let's take a look at some of one of the more targeted ones. Here is AmbiSci BP, otherwise known as Brain Power. This one is aimed more at retention things. Now, some of these tracks you'll have seen in the 40, like Tesla's Lab. Some of them are different. And you'll see that the effects on this one, energy boost, focus, meditation, relaxation. So BP tends to go for brain states, whether it be up for focus and memory retention or down for power nap, sleep, meditation. They have a similar one over here in PM, which is pure meditation. This one has some of my favorite music tracks in it. We have some really nice ones. I think Pearl is one of my favorite ones that they've ever done. And again, like the Brain Power one, this one is targeted. However, this one is not really aimed at coming up, more for just being relaxed and coming down. We'll take a look at this one. Here's Pearl and Light Meditation. This one has no other background sounds, it's just the music and the tones. So we're going to go ahead and speed up and take a look at a few others over here. And let's look at one of their newest ones on the Android, Pain and Depression Relief. This one's winning several awards for some actual therapy. They have different tracks on this one. And we'll pick that. And the effects here tend to be targeted. Pain, depression, sleep makes a comeback. They do tend to go with sleep a lot. A very limited amount of offerings in this one, and this is why this one's usually $1 cheaper. The sounds will always be the same. You'll always get rain, waves, night, stream. They're all the same amongst their offerings. Now, the best way to go is to pick music along with a tone that is kind of complementary. So in the last one that we'll take a look at over here is PS, which is pure sleep. Obviously, you can tell what this one's going to be about. So, we're running out of time over here. Feel free to check out the link in the description to Tesla Software's direct site. If you are an iOS user, you'll probably be in luck in that you'll get a little bit more offerings, and I really think Tesla would do well to give themselves a like an all-in-one pack. Like maybe charge $10 and have one gigantic app that lets you get all of them. Unfortunately, it would be a rather big download. So, hope you enjoyed this video on some AmbiSci products, and take care.